Hello everybody! So my plan was to use two different libraries. One of them would be my local library and another from a nearby town. I figured I'd use my local library as a chat reference source and do a face-to-face interview at another different location. Of course, the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry, as the saying goes, and I ended up using my local library for both. It's kind of a long story. No, wait, not that long. Anyway, I love my local library, and I decided to use its chat reference as I know they're always technologically advanced. I happily went to their site, found the chat box, and entered my inquiry. I have very fond memories of writing essays on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. No, not that one. Closer. Okay, yeah, there you go. So I decided my question would be, hey, can you help me find any literary criticism on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein? It seemed pretty straightforward, and I figured I would get some books and articles analyzing the work. I entered my question and received an automated message. No worries, I thought. I can wait. Alright, so it was really about half an hour, but still. I decided the next thing I would do is try text. I immediately got a response, but after asking my question, the library texted again about 15 minutes later that she would have to transfer my question. Again, no worries, I thought. Then after an additional 20 minutes or so, the librarian texted me saying that something was wrong with their chat system and I would need to either call or go to the library. So I went to the library. The reference desk at EPL is very welcoming and the staff is always friendly. I once again asked about the literary criticism for Frankenstein. The librarian said she would look it up for me. So I waited. I stood there in silence as she typed away, her computer screen facing away from me. After a few minutes, she said that unfortunately there wasn't much in the way of print sources, but she would look it up at some academic libraries. She asked me how long I would be at the library, and when I said I planned on leaving, she had me write down my email address. Getting back home, I decided to try chat one more time. This time, I got a response. So that is my story of virtual and face-to-face reference at EPL. For both types of reference transactions, the librarians were open and kind. I've yet to encounter an unfriendly face at EPL. Once the chat started working, I was able to efficiently receive an answer to my inquiry. Via the chat, they gave me both tips on electronic sources and offered to order the text for me, while also giving a time frame of when the text would arrive. The face-to-face interview also ended with the librarian asking if I had a time frame on the materials, so I appreciated that consideration. However, one big downfall of these transactions: technology can't always be reliable, even at top-of-the-line libraries. For patrons who are unable to come to the physical location of the library but require assistance, having technical difficulties with the virtual reference options can be inconvenient or even alienate said patrons. Luckily, EPL has a great user-friendly site that could probably answer a lot of questions that most patrons would have, but not all people know how to use the site for reference purposes and would rather have someone assist them. For the face-to-face reference experience, I noticed that the librarian did not attempt to engage me in the search process at all. She had the computer facing away from me and left me standing there in silence instead of talking me through and engaging me in what she was doing. She also didn't ask me any follow-up questions, such as what format I wanted my materials in. She did take down my email and stated that she would have the head reference librarian contact me, and again, did ask what the time limit was for the materials, so that was a plus. However, if I was a patron working on a project, I feel it would have been more helpful to teach me how to search even a little rather than just give me the materials. The chat reference transaction gave me some step-by-step on how to use the database to find what I needed, so again, points for that. Overall, I prefer face-to-face. I think I express myself better in writing rather than speaking. Oh no, we're shocked, you've been so eloquent this whole time. I know, but trust me, it's true. But so many things can be lost in virtual reference, such as body language that can give you clues on if they're willing to be taught or just want info handed to them, that sort of thing. Certainly keep virtual reference an option because it makes the library more accessible to all, and equity of service is an important part of what the library represents. But make sure to have multiple avenues of virtual reference like chat, email, text, and a dedicated phone line, so there are options to choose from when technology inevitably goes on the fritz. Of course, I love EPL. Although plenty of things went awry during this reference journey, I still felt welcomed and important to the librarians handling my inquiry. It wasn't 100% successful, but I would definitely give it at least a B+. Hopefully it wouldn't be like this every time, so I will definitely ask them more questions in the future. So that's my presentation. Hope you all enjoyed. Thanks for watching.